Hello, it's Steve Jameson here, Managing Broker of RE/MAX Crest Realty Westside with your frequently asked questions. Today's question comes from one of our agents right here at the Westside office, and it's regarding the difference between unconditional releases, cancellations, and privacy protection. I get asked these questions all the time. A lot of people aren't sure what they mean when they see them on a listing on ML Exchange. They aren't sure which one to give their client when their client asks for a cancellation or to be released from a contract. So basically, an unconditional release is just that. It's an unconditional release from the contract. So if you give one of these to your client, just be aware that you are no longer protected for your commission. If somebody buys it 2 days later that saw it, the week before, you're not protected as far as your commission is concerned. An unconditional release also allows your client to relist the property with another agent the next day, right away. A cancellation, on the other hand, does protect your commission for up to 60 days or until the expiry date of the listing, whichever one comes first. And it also prevents another agent from relisting the property, either until 60 days or until the expiry date. So you may want to go that route, but it's up to you. Just be aware that those are the two differences. The way that they will appear on ML Exchange is an unconditional release will show up with a status that's called terminated. And that means that you, if you're soliciting expired listings as one of your marketing techniques, then you can definitely call that seller if it says terminated. The cancellations will show up as cancel protected. So if you see cancel protected on a listing, you're not allowed to communicate with the seller until the 60 days has come up or until it expires. And what will happen is the cancel protected status will automatically show up as expired once the expiry date comes or once 60 days happens as well. The last one is privacy protection. Now, that's not really anything to do with a cancellation or a release. But what privacy protection does is it protects the seller of the property from being solicited by agents for that particular property. If they own multiple properties and somebody, through a title search finds out that they own 5 properties, if they have privacy protection, it's literally privacy protection for that listing, not privacy protection for the other properties they own. So you could solicit them for those. But you can never, and this does not expire, you can never call that owner for that particular listing to try to get it as your own listing to solicit it if it's expired. So please be aware of that if you're working expired listings. Check the status of the seller, and if it says privacy protected, it's off limits. And the way that you would do that, if you're canceling a listing, you may want to, for example, do a cancellation but also do a privacy protection as a service to your client, because otherwise they're going to get inundated with expired listing solicitations, but also it prevents other people from trying to solicit that listing, which is good for you as well. The way that you would do that is on the Working with a Realtor brochure, on the page where it's got information about what's going to happen with your information or your client's information. There's one section there that says other realtors may communicate with you to see if you want their services. If you cross that out and have your client initial it, you send that to the real estate board, the MLS department, and they will put a status change on your listing called privacy protection. So I recommend that. You're not happy with me if you're doing expired listings, but it is a good way to protect your seller from a lot of unwanted phone calls and letters after their listing expires. So I hope this helps and clears it up, and we'll talk to you on your next frequently asked question.